whole quarter to play here between GENSAN and Batangas. Remember, this game has heavy implications on the team standings in the South, considering both teams are seated beside each other dun sa ating team standings sa South. Batangas continues to hold on to that number 3 spot, and after that win by Rizal, sila naman ang umangat. Ang GENSAN bumaba ng bahagya. Quarter scoring in this game, it has been a highly defensive ball game.
Very true enough, and none more glaring that the 8-point output only for GENSAN in the second quarter. Pero ganun din, 10 points din lang in-score nitong Batangas in that match. So I would like to mirror back yung sinasabi mong implication para dito sa dalawang teams na to. Win over the other, whoever wins this, in the case they get a tie in terms of record, because both these teams have a good chance of getting to spot number 2. And yung win over the other might be the tiebreaker if that happens.
And I'm sure GENSAN, they would love to have some home court games during the postseason, considering they haven't hosted a game all season long. And that could be a huge boost, especially in the postseason where things get really heated and things get really so much more intense. It's already intense at this point of our regular season. It's going to turn up, as I said earlier, maybe 5 notches higher.
Oh yes, definitely. Tsaka yung mga supporters, syempre, na nandun, na nag-aabang, yun ang mahalaga dyan eh.
Yeah, the 6th man will come into play. Meanwhile, MJ De La Virgen could not get that staying in play. That's going to be a turnover laban sa kanya.
So far, it's been, in the last 3 possessions, MJ has made a 3, and then close to turning the ball over twice.
Turnover story though in this game, Coach. Batangas, although they lead by 8, they have committed 11 more turnovers than GENSAN in this game.
At saka mabigat dyan, 15 points of turnovers, tapos plus 13 sila sa department na yan, itong GENSAN Warriors.
And for the most part, in the half-court set though, defensively, Batangas naman talagang liyamado dyan. They have forced GENSAN into a lot of tight situations. Many have fallen in the hands of Felix Chapreco with the clock winding down. He gets fouled. But the thing is, he hasn't been able to capitalize on his free throws. That has contributed to GENSAN missing 11 already at this point.
I was about to say that, na kung naipasok nila yung 10, di sana ibang complexion ng game.
1 out of 6 na ngayon, si Felix Chapreco. 1 out of 5 rather. 52-45. Let's go courtside to Ms. Mika Abisamis.
Coach Elvis Tolentino has a problem, and that is collective effort from Batangas. As you mentioned earlier, Javi, different guys contributing. Shows chemistry, shows strong brotherhood, ingredients for disaster if GENSAN does not find a way to get through. But Coach Elvis said, this is when I need guys like Larry Rodriguez, an MPBL champion, and Val Acuña, another MPBL champion, to be around the young guys. Let's see what this could do. Javi, Coach Mike.
Thank you, Mika. I'm glad that you mentioned that. These are 2 guys that, as Mika mentioned, Coach Elvis has really been banking on. And they're the reasons why yun ang mga pangunahing rason kung bakit sila kinuha dito sa team na to.
Oh, totoo yan. And yung mention ng word na collectively, yan talaga yung nakikita mo dito sa Batangas Scrum Masters. We talked about this. The methodical approach to half-court sets, slowing down the game, and finding open guys. But you gotta avoid turning the ball over kasi itong mangyayari. Diyan magaling itong GENSAN Warriors pumupuntos after a turnover.
And mind you, this is also what happened against Zamboanga, where GENSAN practically, if you were watching that game, it wasn't the best of games para sa kanila. But end game, if they have that chance to beat you at the final buzzer, they're going to be a dangerous team.
That is
a lot
right.
of big shot makers on this squad.
That is right. And that +4 difference in the points of turnover in that game over Zamboanga pretty much was the only margin that they needed to come up with that win.
45-52. That's going to be a foul against Batangas. Baloria committing his 2nd personal. Gonochea will return to the game para kay Jong.
I like that the officials saw that on yung iga nga parang yakap ni Jong Baloria dun kay Eloy Tan. Hindi yung tulak ni Eloy Tan. So that was the right call.
Eloy now being guarded by Levy. Tan will put the shot over the defense of Levy Hernandez.
Not afraid of the moment. That's what so far Eloy Tan has proven in the past 2 games. He's put in spots in the game where it's highly pressured and he's delivered.
Oh, hindi nakita ni Joel Leo si Eloy Tan na nangunguna dun sa kabila, but he'll take it himself to no avail. That's a miss. Wasted an opportunity there for the Warriors.
Look at Philip Panyamogan. He's not going for that fast break. We will bring this down, use some clock, and then find out the gaps.
Alam niya na yun ang kanilang kalakasan. Apinan goes to the other side. Panyamogan back with it. Quickly to Levy. Hernandez down the hole.
Oh my God. You knew that was coming.
I felt it, coach. I felt
Right?
it. I had a big feeling that there was going to be a 3-pointer by Levy Hernandez.
Oh my God. You saw that coming. The moment that Philip drove middle and Levy was available.
Again, another tight pass forced on GENSAN by this Batangas defense.
I'll tell you what, itong GENSAN Warriors, they have not, in my opinion, gotten a clean rhythm 3-point look. Lahat ng nakukuha nilang bola sa labas sa 3 points, nadi-disrupt because of the defense, either deflections or what have you. Samantala, sa kabila, methodical itong Batangas. Ibababa na maayos ang bola at hahanapin ng paraan kung paano sila makakaskor.
That's one word they haven't had in this game. It's flow.
Yes, agree.
Again, late shot clock situation. Somebody had to take a forced shot. Eloy Tan wasn't lucky at that point. But then Felix Aprecu once again forcing another possession for GENSAN. And he will throw back to the free throw line.
If you're Batangas, you don't like the foul. But you love that it's Felix Aprecu that's going to the line.
47-55. There's still a lot of time to play in this game. And there's 6 minutes to play. But look at the free throw disparity. Batangas only with 3 attempts, 19 attempts for GENSAN. Let's check out that special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. And so far, that actually has been the difference if you're going to take a look at the numbers solely. Another miss by Aprecu. Score stays as is. Importante.
The lowest free throw attempt by Batangas in all their games is 4.
Wow.
That's versus Parañaque when they were 2 out of 4.
Well, you know, they didn't really need much of their free throws so far tonight, as Tolentino making a big basket there. That was a much needed basket for GENSAN.
And you love that he took that with a lot of force. I mean, a lot of intention really to score. See this right here. Lane open post. You gotta attack it. Ang ganda nung English din sa finger roll ni Kyle Tolentino.
That was our Gixer great move of the game. Born for greatness. Let's go back courtside to Miss Mika Bisemes.
With the All-Star starter stint, the upcoming playoffs and the PBA draft, I went into Kyle Tolentino's headspace. Sabi ko, how are you taking all these in at a young age? He said he now appreciates that day when he was about 16 years old when Coach Elvis finally took him to a PCU practice game. Noong una daw, ayaw pa niya kasi as it is, strict na daw ang tatay niya sa bahay. Ano pa kaya pag naging coach? True enough, we see it on court. He is treated the same as the rest. So here he is about to start his young, satisfying, but sharp career with a stable anchor. Happy, Coach Mike?
Maraming salamat, Mika. And like I said earlier, you know, it's a blessing and a curse, but I would say more a blessing rather than a curse. I'd still rather have my dad as my head coach dahil it ensures a lot of things. This was the scuffle between Nico Elorde and Philip Panyamogan just now.
I thought that was contact prior to
Yes.
that hit on the face by Philip Panyamogan. They didn't catch that. Instead, they caught that second action by Philip. So this is the one that they're reviewing right now.
I think Nico Elorde could actually have the satisfaction of Philip Panyamogan being called for, at the very least, a warning for second motion. Referee Michael Kinay now approaching Miguel Pere with a final decision. Batangas already in the penalty, all right. So 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this game. This is something that GENSAN could take advantage of. So it is a foul on Nico Elorde, and I'm surprised they elevated it into an unsportsmanlike foul on Philip Panyamogan.
Oh, man.
So it's going to be 2 free throws right now.
But that
for
can
Nico
happen.
Elorde, yes.
Yeah, but I think that can happen. Well, first you love that foul was called on Nico, but which I strongly feel that's where the first contact happened. But then you react ni Philip Panyamogan. I feel too that deserved that call.
2 free throws converted there by Nico Elorde. That's Mitch Del Carmen Elorde, the better half of Nico, always watching his games together with her lovely daughters. This is a chance for GENSAN to make a big momentum shift. Gonzalez on the block against the smaller Levy Hernandez, but the Batangas defense holding their own. That is a travel against CJ.
You know, one other thing that makes it difficult for the GENSAN Warriors right now, the only guy who so far has caught a good rhythm offensively is Larry Rodriguez. He's 4 out of 9 from the field. And everyone else has struggled shooting.
And he's not in the game right now. Sniper de Mexico. The 2 South All-Stars. Mano y mano. Levy versus Kyle. Levy could not get that jumper. That one's short too. Ochea is there. The reigning defensive player of the year could not convert. So does Mark Cruz. Multiple opportunities, but Batangas still ends up with the 2 points.
What was that? 3 offensive rebounds? 3
I think that was 4.
That was 4 offensive rebounds in one go. Oh my.
What will GENSAN answer with? Elorde had to improvise there. But for all the fanfare that last possession had, this is just a 6-point game, ladies and gentlemen. This is not far off.
Pretty much. See that first offensive rebound. There's the second one.
That's the third. And there you go.
There you go.
Cruz finishing. Yep, 4 offensive rebounds, coach, dahil dalawa yung mintis ni Levy.
Ni Levy, that's right. Oh my. But you know what? On this shot by Nico Elorde, I felt he went to the defense with that left elbow up. So shouldn't that be a call on Nico Elorde as well?
And that's why Coach Cholo Villanueva is livid there, trying to argue his case. Coach Chief Seb Pingol is trying to restrain him.
I think that one was pretty clear. Nico Elorde tried to initiate, but he had that elbow up.
Elorde has been steady so far from the free throw line tonight. 5 points in the game for Nico Elorde. 3 out of 3 from the charity stripe. Pinan will come back in. 11 out of 25 total from the free throw line for GENSAN. 11 out of 26 now. That's the first miss of Elorde in this game. Remember, Batangas has been in the penalty since as early as around the 5-6 minute mark of this 4th quarter. Elorde goes 2 for 3.
2 possession. As a matter of fact, this could be a 1 possession game right now.
And they need a stop here, talking about GENSAN. Full court pressure being applied by the Warriors. Trap will not happen for GENSAN there as Panyamogan got the pressure release. Philip uses the Apinan screen. Jexter swings it quickly to Ochea. Step back, picks up the dribble. Almost lost it. Panyamogan pulls up. Jumper on the way. Long rebound goes to Levy Hernandez, making it look so simple, making it look so easy right there. Offensive rebound plus stick back for Sniper de Mexico. 22 puntos na para kay Levy. Elorde could not hit from downtown. Panyamogan had Ochea in front but says no. We're gonna take our time here. We're gonna set up in the half court once again. Panyamogan turns the corner. Philip floater, napalakas. Apinan able to tap it to himself. Hernandez able to draw some contact there against the GENSAN defense to the delight of their fans.
And all this ball movement on the half-court set. Alam mo, ang mahirap dito, kung ikaw ang GENSAN Warriors, the longer that Batangas takes that shot, mas frustrating kasi you're forced to defend the length of the entire possession.
And this happens. See there, Levy Hernandez. Namimiesta sa laro na to.
Oo. And they will break you down.
We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Levy Hernandez, 23 big ones in this game. Leading scorer for the Rum Masters. Well above his average of 17.3 points per game. This is now an 8-point lead for Batangas City. 61-53. They equal their biggest lead of the game. 3 minutes and 31 remaining. Timeout, GENSAN. Babalik ang inyong Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Up next on the schedule of Coach Cholo Villanueva and the Rum Masters, they have the Davao Occidental Tigers on September 2. A week after that, they will face the league-leading Abra Weavers. And on September 15, it's going to go against the Bulacan Cuyas.
And that is going to be a big test, that Abra game.
The Rizal Golden Coolers have stayed behind here in the venue to watch this all-important game. Ganito ka-importante itong laro na to between GENSAN and Batangas. Dahil nga, heavy implications ito sa team standings in the Southern Division. Remember, Batangas is trying to hold on to that third spot. And because of that win earlier by Rizal, umangat sila over GENSAN.
And I think they also will stay for that Binyan San Juan game because
Yes.
Binyan also is figured out in that four-team traffic under that for that battle for the fourth spot.
Rodriguez is back in the game. Tolentino, back to Nico Elorde. The spin. Elorde off the glass and in.
Boy, Nico Elorde has willed this team.
Scoreless in the first half. 9 points in the third and fourth quarters for Nico Elorde. 61-55. Two-possession ball game. GENSAN with 2 team fouls. Batangas in the penalty.
Oh, man.
Hernandez catches it back door. Eloy Tan will be called for that personal.
Now, I reacted that way because when you look at that action, I hope we get that again. It was what's called a split action down on the corner. When you have your 2 best offensive players involved in it, Philip Panyamogan and Levy Hernandez. Either way, you gotta pick your poison. And if you're late, both guys are capable to score.
Coach, we have not seen this a lot for the most part.
Yes.
As we take a look at this free throw of the game brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Itong kombinasyon ni Levy Hernandez at ni Philip Panyamogan in finishing games.
Yes.
Recently,
Yes.
though, this has been a combination that Coach Cholo has gone to a lot.
And I think that bodes well for Coach Cholo because it gives them identity in terms of closers for series. Kyle, meantime.
That's a miss. Big rebound by Jexter Apinan.
And look at that. They really will intentionally slow this game down. Look at that. That was an open lane that King Importante did not even take.
Meanwhile, though, a whistle blown against Batangas, Panyamogan and Elorde. Those two, their rivalry has somehow heated up here in the fourth quarter.
And when you talk about, getting to your head, well, I think Nico Elorde is a master with that.
For sure, no doubt about it.
And so in that situation, that's win Nico Elorde over
He is
Philip.
legendary in that aspect of the game.
Now, you've got a lot of shooters right now here on the floor. Larry, Val, Mark, and Kyle, all shooters and scorers for GENSAN.
Yeah, 8 points is not too much for a quintet like this. Tolentino couldn't lose Apinan, but finally that footwork enabling him to escape the defense. We now enter crunch time here, the final 2 minutes of this game.
I think that shot, they were willing for Kyle to take. No threes. Put that ball on the floor and attack our interior defense.
63 to 57. Offensive foul against Jexter Apinan.
Oh boy.
Here they come, the GENSAN Warriors, down by 6 points, 63 to 57.
Talk about getting into the heads of the Rum Masters. Ooh, that was a hard one.
Elbow to the backside of the head there. Rodriguez going to work. The double from Hernandez comes, triple team.
Ooh.
And Larry Rodriguez, the veteran smarts of the former MPBL champion, playing in his former home floor. Pero bago yan, tingnan muna natin itong play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Larry Rodriguez hitting that clutch free throw.
Let me say that Jexter Apinan did all he could amidst that move of Kyle Tolentino. Avoided that three-point shot, stuck with him going downhill, but really just, that footwork and that power of Kyle Tolentino in full display.
14 out of 29 after Rodriguez goes 2 for 2. That's a far cry from 10 out of 15 against Zamboanga. Rodriguez has 11, 7, and 2 in this game. 2-possession ball game, 63 to 59. Importante, trying to test the defense of Larry. Rodriguez able to force a miss. Cruz pushes it up their front court. The Ant-Man gives it up to their go-to guy, Kyle Tolentino, against Don Ochea, the reigning defensive player of the year. Cruz gets the step on Jexter Apinan. Off the glass na palakas. Last touch Batangas, GENSAN will keep it.
And he felt that. Sayang. Para kay Mark Cruz. He had that lane. He lifted before the defense even came in. Matter of fact, that was a good shot. We just didn't have that right English to get that ball to fall.
It's going to be a baseline throw-in for the Warriors. Coach Elvis calling this timeout. 63 to 59. Because we are under the final 2 minutes, our referees get to review all out-of-bounds plays. Yes, it is off King Importante. Therefore, GENSAN will keep possession.
That definitely, and it was clearly off King Importante.
So there was no timeout called. It was just because of the review that both coaches were able to huddle up their team. So let's see what Coach Elvis was able to draw up in that opportunity. Acuna triggers in. Cruz has it. They try to set up Acuna on an elevator. Rodriguez was open. Acuna over the defense. Acuna short on the three. Rodriguez had one hand on it, but Ochea was able to collect it. There's a foul against Mark Cruz. That's their last foul to give.
If you're gonna take a shot and you're gonna miss it, and you're the GENSAN Warriors, there is high probability that that rebound is definitely gonna go to Batangas. Don Ochea, Levi Hernandez, King Importante, Jexter Apinan. Probably 4 of the best rebounding pieces of Coach Cholo Villanueva here for the Rum Masters.
Tactical substitutions on the defensive end for Coach Elvis. Eloy Tan back in the game along with Joel Liu, CJ Gonzalez, and Felix Aprecu. They will apply pressure here on Chea, being defended by CJ. Ochea successfully brings it across. Panyamogan breaks free from Eloy Tan.
Mismatch underneath with King and Joel.
They don't want to commit a foul here. They're already in the penalty.
Yeah.
I was just saying it. Aprecu will send Philip Panyamogan to the free throw line.
Because they were anticipating actually that coming out of a two-man action, they always blitz the guy on the ball. And with the ball happens to be with Philip Panyamogan, it really was just a matter of time that they will either blitz and force a turnover or blitz and foul. Because if you don't blitz, Philip's very capable of scoring from the outside.
And this is the Philip Panyamogan that we've come to know. Not really much of this for majority of the season. Pero nakita mo, ito yung gustong laro na makita ni Coach Cholo Villanueva galing kay Philip Panyamogan. Check out our special deal from 1xBet. When you scan the QR code and claim your special offer, he was brought in for this purpose.
Right, exactly. I was going to say the same, Javi. He was brought in to be a guy to help out scoring and closing out games alongside Seda Blasa and Levy Hernandez.
1 out of 2 for Philip Panyamogan. Coach Elvis Tolentino will burn one of his final timeouts. 37.2 seconds remaining in this game. 5-point lead for the Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters. Both teams in the penalty.
I will not be surprised if they go for a 2-4-1. Let's listen in.
Kunwari, kayong tatlo, sabay-sabay, tatlo ha. Lakay, ligaw to ha. Ligaw to. Takbo kayo, mabilis ha. Itaan mo kay Lani. Okay, isipin niya. Ngayon, pagka ano niya doon, labas kayo dito, eto, Kyle, papunta ka doon, pero tingnan mo si Lani, baka mag-libre nito. Baka mag-iwan sa libre. Tingnan mo to ha.
Pagka-takbo natin dito.
Pag hindi yan, mag-plus kayo ng kabin. Ligaw pa corner.
You just heard the huddle of Coach Elvis Tolentino and the GENSAN Warriors. It looks like they will be going to Kyle Tolentino here. Both teams with a timeout remaining.
They might try and isolate that right side of the floor for Kyle Tolentino. Everybody's going to go on one side of the floor and he's going to come back.
Gonzalez catches it. Back to Mark Cruz. Cruz fakes the shot. Tolentino saves it. Tolentino having trouble with the rock. Acuna for 3. That's short. Cruz tries to keep it alive for GENSAN. Lots of indecision on that play, Coach.
Well,
Cruz could not decide on whether he would take the shot or leave it back for Kyle Tolentino. Eventually giving it back to Kyle, but there was a lot of clock drained from that singular sequence.
yeah, and Coach Cholo understood positions of play. That most probably it was going to be Kyle Tolentino, especially when he saw him make that long run from the weak side of the floor to the ball to the strong side of that inner thirds, and they really just clamped on him and allow Gonzalez or Evangelista rather to be the one to receive the Gonzalez to be the one to receive the ball. He's not a threat from the outside, and so the next thing he will do is find a guard that would create.
About 13 seconds were chipped off of that possession by GENSAN. They will apply pressure here. They're down by 5. When will they foul? Apinan almost loses it. Elorde, they're whistled. Coach Cholo Villanueva was waiting for that whistle to be blown.
That was definitely a late call.
And Elorde could not believe it.
I felt you knew it was late because it happened right in front of him, of the official. And so, in as much as they were waiting for that whistle, I think the other guys as well on that bench were waiting for a foul to be called.
Now, clearly, GENSAN was trying to go for the steal first. Take a look at what happened here. Importante gets it to Jexter Apinan. Ang dami ng contact before that.
Yeah, precisely. That first one was already, could have been a foul already called.
This is Jexter Apinan's first trip to the free throw line tonight. And he knocks down the first free throw. 65-59. 14.3 seconds remaining. Apinan goes 1 for 2. Importante gets the offensive rebound. And this is a part of the game where Batangas has come alive, but they turn it over. Liu goes quickly. And he will be fouled, but 5.8 seconds on the clock. This might not be enough time for a comeback for GENSAN.
But just basketball smarts right there by Joel Liu. Understanding time and situation. Look at that. 7 turnovers for GENSAN. Pero 22 turnovers ang na-force nitong GENSAN sa Batangas. Nakakuha sila ng 26 doon.
And Coach, how is it possible that despite the 22 turnovers, Batangas still had control of this game?
Well, because GENSAN missed 15 free throws. And that's really where it is. It's glaring right there. Another missed free throw.
Liu, I think, intended for that miss, although he misses on the second serving. And that is going to do it. Batangas winning a huge game against the GENSAN Warriors, their rivals in the South.
A highly defensive game, if you ask me. Tactical at the latter part of the game, where everybody, both Coach Cholo and the Coach Elvis, were trying to figure out how to outsmart the other team. And what happens to this win by Batangas in the event that they do get to tie at a certain number of wins for spot number 2 or anywhere in the top 4, it's Batangas that's going to take the higher seed than that of GENSAN.
Well, with this win, they now tie Zamboanga at 17-8. But meanwhile, kilalanin muna natin ang ating best player of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Despite the 22 turnovers, Coach, this guy helped keep Batangas afloat the entire game.
You know what? It could have been more if they sped up the game, but they slowed it down to a grind and made it difficult for GENSAN to get any good rhythm.
26 points for Levy Hernandez, the only guy in double figures for Batangas the entire game, Coach. 9 out of 18 from the field, 6 rebounds for Sniper de Mexico, helping them to the 65-60 victory.